You've seen the new Chainsaw Man trailer, right? It's not just hype. It secretly shows you the entire Assassin's arc in just 90 seconds. But almost nobody notices the key details hidden in plain sight. One frame reveals a character who doesn't appear until chapter 51 of the manga. Another shows a weapon that doesn't exist yet in the anime. If you blinked, you missed the clue that changes everything we thought about the next arc. This trailer is a puzzle, and we're about to solve it piece by piece. For example, did you catch the shadow with multiple arms? That's a hint at the Darkness Devil, who appears in chapter 55. Chainsaw Man Season 1 ended with a huge cliffhanger. Denji is now a public hunter, but enemies are everywhere. The Assassin's arc is where the story gets darker and more brutal. If you only watched the anime, you don't know what's coming. The trailer hints at new devils, new alliances, and a massive threat. Understanding these clues means you'll enjoy the arc way more. Plus, MAPPA's animation style has changed since Season 1, and the trailer shows it. This isn't just more Chainsaw Man, it's a whole new level of intensity. The manga has sold over 20 million copies worldwide, so the stakes are high. The arc spans chapters 46 to 70, covering 25 chapters of intense action and emotional twists. You know how when you watch a trailer, you usually just get excited and forget the details? Most fans did that with this trailer. They saw cool fights and new characters, but they missed the clues about the plot. The problem is, the trailer is designed to hide its secrets in plain sight. MAPPA wants you to rewatch it and find new things each time. But if you don't know what to look for, you'll miss the most important hints. That's why we need to slow down and examine every shot. For example, the graveyard scene appears for only 1 second, but it's from chapter 49. That scene sets up a major battle that happens later in the arc. A lot of people think the trailer is just a montage of cool fights with no real story. And that makes sense, because the trailer is fast-paced and doesn't explain anything. But here's the truth, every single shot is carefully chosen to tell a story. For example, many fans think the woman with a sword is a new character. Actually, that's Reese, a character from the next arc who has a huge role. The trailer shows her face for only half a second, but it's a major clue. So the trailer isn't just flashy action, it's a compressed version of the entire arc. The manga's chapter 50 confirms Ree's importance as a key antagonist. She also appears in the Bomb Girl arc, but here she's part of the Assassin's arc. You might think the trailer shows scenes from the early part of the Assassin's arc. That would be logical, trailers usually show the beginning of the story. But here's the surprising part, the trailer actually shows moments from all across the arc, including the final battle. One shot shows a character fighting in a church, that happens near the end of the arc. Another shot shows a devil that only appears in the climax. So the trailer is a time machine, jumping from start to finish. It's not spoiling the story, it's giving you a map. The church scene is from chapter 56, and the devil is the Darkness Devil from chapter 55. The final battle takes place in a graveyard, which appears in chapter 62. Let's look at the evidence. First, the trailer shows a character named Santa Claus. Yes, that's a real character in Chainsaw Man. She appears in chapter 51 of the manga, which is right in the middle of the arc. Second, there's a shot of a giant devil with a cross, that's the Darkness Devil, who appears in chapter 55, near the climax. Third, the trailer includes a brief shot of Denji with a new weapon, a chainsaw sword, which he doesn't get until late in the arc. These 3 clues prove the trailer is jumping across the entire story. The Chainsaw Man manga has 97 chapters in part 1, so the arc spans chapters 46 to 70. In a minute I'll show you the coolest part, the one thing almost nobody notices. Think of the trailer like a highlight reel of a sports game. It shows the best moments, but not in order. MAPPA used a technique called chronological scattering. They took scenes from different parts of the arc and mixed them together. Here's how it works in 3 steps. Step 1. Pick key moments from the beginning, middle, and end of the arc. Step 2. Edit them into a fast-paced montage that feels exciting. Step 3. Hide the timeline by cutting quickly between scenes. The result? A trailer that feels like a roller coaster, but secretly tells the whole story. For example, the shot of Denji crying happens in Chapter 53, while the shot of him laughing happens in Chapter 60. They're 7 chapters apart, but in the trailer they're only 2 seconds apart. This technique is common in anime trailers. MAPPA used it for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 as well, where they mixed scenes from the Shibuya incident arc out of order. The biggest mistake fans make is assuming the animation quality tells them about the arc's budget. Many fans noticed that some shots in the trailer look rougher than Season 1. They think MAPPA is cutting corners. But here's the truth, those rougher shots are intentional. They're meant to show the chaotic, messy nature of the assassin's arc. The arc is about violence and disorder, so the animation reflects that. In fact, MAPPA's lead animator wanted the action to feel raw and unpolished to match the story's tone. So the worse animation is actually a creative choice, not a mistake. This is confirmed by interviews with the production team on the official MAPPA website. The rough style also saves budget for key fights, like the Darkness Devil battle. So how do you watch the trailer the right way? First, pause on every new character and compare them to the manga. Second, note the setting of each scene, church, graveyard, rooftop, and check the manga for when those places appear. Third, look for objects like weapons or devils that don't appear until later chapters. By doing this, you can map out the entire arc just from the trailer. For example, the graveyard scene is from Chapter 49, the church is Chapter 56, and the rooftop is Chapter 62. Now you have a timeline. This method turns the trailer into a guide, not just a teaser. Try it yourself, pause the trailer right now and see what you find. Use the manga chapters we've listed to cross-reference every shot. Let's recap what we learned. 1. The trailer hides clues in plain sight. 2. It shows the entire arc, not just the start. 3. Riz appears in a single frame. 4. The Darkness Devil is teased. 5. Denji's chainsaw sword is shown. 6. The animation style is intentionally raw. 7. You can map the arc by comparing scenes to the manga. Now you know how to decode the trailer like a pro. Most fans never notice these details, but now you're part of the 1% who do. If this helped, hit like so more fans can learn. Comment your favorite hidden detail. And subscribe to stay ahead of every Chainsaw Man reveal. Thanks for watching. And remember, the next time you watch a trailer, pause and look closely, you might find secrets no one else sees.